Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back to working on the commission for the MS Date wedding. When I began on it again, I realized that I had used the wrong tape, and when I put the colored pencil piece on pause to finish the oil painting, it had left a residue on the edges of the paper. So I went to get an adhesive eraser, but it didn't work well enough, so the piece needed to be redone. My client originally had asked for a watercolor, but settled on a colored pencil because it's a bit cheaper, so I decided to just upgrade them to a watercolor without charging extra. I think this way should be a little faster, since there's a lot of places in the picture where there are large swaths of the same color that would eat up time with colored pencils, but are pretty easy to do with the watercolor. The disadvantage of watercolor is that there's usually more failed attempts, at least for me, because you're working with pigment that you can't cover up, and also with colored pencil, you usually work from a very light color that has to be built up. This is very slow, but it's a fair bit more precise, and you can recognize if something looks a little wonky before you have to commit to it. Still, I'm having a lot of fun working on this watercolor, and it's going by a lot faster than the colored pencil, and it's made me reconsider charging less for colored pencils since they eat up so much more time than watercolor, and I think I've improved enough with it that I'm not needing to keep restarting. I really enjoy watercolor. It's easier to get a hold of certain pigments, and there's not much of a delay. While my favorite medium is oil because of how the final result usually turns out, it requires so much preparation, pre-mixing colors, diluting pigments, staining a canvas, and making an underdrawing. There's something to the immediacy of watercolor. It's easier to act on a creative impulse with it. At least with me, the creative impulse sort of fades earlier with an oil painting, and seeing it to its finish usually requires more discipline than inspiration. For this reason, along with the general portability of its materials, watercolor is the medium I usually go for when I want to paint something from observation. When I went to Italy and painted scenes there, I used exclusively watercolor to capture the view of the mountains and Mediterranean around me, mixing the pigments with the sea as it washed at my feet. I'm not sure if it's the new watercolor paper I got for this project, a general improvement in my skills, or something in between, but I'm also having a much easier time not overworking the paper on this one. More than oil and acrylic, watercolor requires a lot of layering to get complex or vibrant pigments, and I've often had to restart a piece because I overworked the paper too much. And even with completed pieces, I've had moments where I was worried the paper would get overworked pretty soon. With this one at least, the problem luckily didn't seem to come up. Anyway, I'm really liking how this piece is turning out. I forgot how much I enjoyed watercolor, and I'm excited for other commissions I have in the medium this summer. Thanks for watching, feel free to like and share if you enjoyed the video, and follow to see how this painting turns out.